Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Built Structures video. Wow, we're already at number 7 on the contest build for David Durbin. Anyhow, if you guys like to see what I've accomplished, stay tuned and you'll see what's going on. But I also like to make a small announcement. I have decided to join the Amazon force and be an associate. So, if you guys are going to purchase anything from Amazon, my link is down in the show more section. I would appreciate it if you do so. I mean, I'll make a couple of bucks off of that as well. So anyhow, stay tuned and we'll get right back to the video right now. Okay, now the real fun starts. We're going to start getting things ready to assemble this building. I decided that I am going to paint the inside of the building before I put the walls together, and then once I get the walls together I will paint the exterior walls. But anyhow, what I'm doing right now is preparing this so I can have mounting points and securing points. And as you can see, those lines right there, those lines are going to determine where my, if I can get this out, where my gussets are going to go. So there'll be a piece of styrene stripping right there on the line, and this will sit on top of it, and then I know the next one will be even with it, and so on and so forth, right down the whole line. Now, when I say prepare for it, this is what I'm going to be doing. And there's only 3 walls that'll get this treatment. Back this up a bit. So, this is the intermediate wall that goes between the office and the building, and this is the rear wall. And as you can see, I've added all my stripping around here, and once I start assembling the building, the gussets will sit right on top of there and right up against the this strip right here. So, just to give you an idea how this is going to be secured, and I'm doing these extra supporting joints or whatever, just because this building is so big. Anyhow, there'll only be 3 walls that get this treatment. It'll be this wall, and the front office wall. Then in the center, there'll be 2 supports that I'll be doing also. These still have to get sanded and primed. But anyhow, I think we're well on our way of getting this building together, and I decided to concentrate on this building before I go any further than this. Excuse me. Anyhow, let's see what else I can get into. So now we're back with the rest of this project. The part that takes the longest on any project is to get everything mounted and masked off as far as what's going to be painted and what's not going to be painted. As you guys know, I don't ever paint the part that has to get glue on it. So anyhow, we're going to start over here, and these are the 2 main walls. These are the 2 interior walls, and that is the front office wall, and also these are the 2 main structures. So this interior of this building is ready to be painted, and the color I chose is the satin smoky beige, and it is a Rust-Oleum product. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and spray these up, and when they are dry we will start assembling this monster. Anyhow, while the paint is drying, I'll show you a couple other things that I've done for this project. Be back in a minute. Alright, as we continue on with our build, my last video, I told you I was going to do something else with the people door. Anyhow, I thought about it, and this is what I came up with. I decided to take my pin vise with a 1/16 inch bit in there and drill a hole right there in the door. Now you're saying, what am I going to do with that hole? Well, then I took a piece of this 1/16 inch rod and I put it into the hole and pull it back just a little bit more, and voila, we have a doorknob. Anyhow, all three doors are done the same, and that's a little detail that probably nobody would notice, but I know it's there, so makes the door look a little bit better. And by the way, these inserts are not glued in yet, just in case I want to make any changes to them. The next thing I want to show you guys is a detail that I'm going to be putting on the outside of the building. This is a dust collector bracket that I modified. It was from an HO kit. I think it was from the Red Wing, whatchamacallit. Oh, I think you can get these separately anyhow. I modified it a bit. I put a little X bracing in there, and I put this piece across the bottom, so when I mount it up against the building, it has more of a gluing surface, less chance of it falling off. Then I took the dust collectors, excuse me, and I went ahead and painted them with that metallic paint that I have, and so they'll sit, both of them, look just like that, sitting on the side of the building. Anyhow, the paint is probably dry by now, so I think we'll go ahead out to the other room and maybe start assembling this creation of VinnyVid structures. Anyhow, we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I had to change my work area so I have a nice flat spot to work with. I'm actually on my dining room table that's been my workbench for the past couple of years. Anyhow, we're going to start putting this monster building together, and we're going to start with the rear wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bead of glue either here or here, and I'm going to secure it and make sure that my edges are together. Then I will stand it up and we'll do some squaring up of the structure. Anyhow, let's begin. I think I'll put it on here instead. No, I didn't think so. I guess you need to do it standing up, so if my head gets in the way, I'm sorry. It's going to be kind of hard for me to do this and show you guys. And maybe that'll work. Anyhow, I'm going to let this set up for a minute. And my next step for this project is going to be taking my square and just securing it to the table with some masking tape. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this right up close. Now, you know what, let's back this up a bit. Put a little further back here. Alright, and so now we can bring this here and make sure we're square, make sure our edge is nice and right to the edge, and so we're square there. And we'll take my other square and we'll put him up against there, and I think that's looking pretty good actually. Oops, sorry about that. Let me see if I can move you guys over a bit. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is adding one of my gussets right here in the corner to make sure it stays square. So anyhow, let me go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Alright, so now we're on to the first wall is secured with the gusset in there, and I gotta say it's actually pretty strong as it sits right now. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add the front wall. Anyhow, procedure is going to be the same. I'm going to put some glue on this end right here, and I'm just going to put it up there and hold it for a few seconds, and then I will move my square into position and secure it, and we'll carry on from there. So I'll go ahead and get going with this, and I'll bring you back when I got this wall on. Alright guys, now that this wall is secure to the other wall, I'm going to go ahead and install my gusset. And I know that these are perfect 45s on here, or perfect 90 on here, so when it fits in there and there's no room, I know that this is pretty square. And as you can see, I have my square here, and I also have my my plumb here. So I'm pretty confident this building is turning out to be pretty square. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue along the edges here. And along here. And then we'll flip her over and we'll put her into place. And I'm liking the way this is turning out. Anyhow, I'm going to put the last wall on here, and then I will go ahead and put my stiffeners in the center. So stay tuned and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I have the 4 main walls attached. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting these internal bracing walls in here. Not really sure how I'm going to do this yet. Where's my glue? Sorry if my head gets in the way, guys. I can't see everything that's happening. So we'll go ahead and put some on here. I'm probably out of camera right now too. Okay. And we'll take him and make sure we're close to the guy up on top there. And to make sure that this piece is even with the roof supports, because this will be one of the roof supports, I'm going to put this up against here and push it right up against there, just to make sure that we're flush with the top. And then I'll let that dry. And then what I'll do is I'll put my gusset inside there, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. And then we'll do the same thing for the back one. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and continue with this, and I'll show you the progress when we get back. Alright guys, all the 4 walls are attached, all my gussets are in, my 2 inside strengthening walls, if you want to call them that, are in. Now for the ultimate test, to see if this building is square. So, we will do the old carpenter's deal of corner to corner, and from this corner to this corner. If you guys are going to be able to see that, let me see if I can get you in there a little bit. It's 18.5 inches. And now we'll turn it around the other way. And we go from this corner to this corner. And we're at 18 and 11/16 or so like a 1/16 of an inch out of square, but that'll square up a bit more once I put the roof in there. It'll square it up nice and pretty. Anyhow, I'm going to give you guys a 360 of this so far, and then we're going to call this video good. Be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, as promised, I'm going to give you a 360 of this structure so far. As you can see, I've added a roof here, and I've also added a roof up on top here. So this is going to be the office, and today is February 1st, and I am going to California with Arthur Ocampo to a train show. So hopefully I can find some doors and windows for the front of this office. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and spin it around, and this will be trackside, and the dust collectors I showed you earlier will be mounted right there where that red tape is. And I really don't want to show you this part because it's already painted, but oh well. This is the back side. Uh-oh, we're coming off the turntable. Get you back on there. There you go. This is the back side with the one truck loading facility. And then finally, the truck side. And you can see where all the doors are going to go. Anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this part of the build, number 7 I believe it is. Please don't forget about my Amazon account. If you guys shop through Amazon, please use my link when you check out, or however that works. As for now, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.